This new season serves as a pretty solid drinking game. Drink every time somebody says Operation Umbrella or anti-national media or Sarkari media. In 2024, at this specific moment in time, what is it that we want from a pulpy, punchy drama set within the world of corrupt, sellout, screaming at the camera TV news? Z5's The Broken News, one of the rare worthwhile shows on the platform, returns for its second season. Season 2 picks up shortly after the events of last time, when honest, headstrong journalist Radha Bhargav, played by a fiery, self-assured Shriya Pilgaonkar, was falsely incriminated and jailed after she called out the CM and the government over Operation Umbrella, a mass surveillance project that allowed the powers that be to keep tabs on regular citizens. Radha works at Awaaz Bharti, the rare, honest, credible news channel run by editor Amina Qureshi, played by sincere Sonali Bendre. The essence of the first season was Awaaz Bharti locking horns with rival news channel, the corrosive sellout sensationalist TRP-driven Josh 24/7, run by the fierce Dipankar Sanyal, played by a swagged up show-making Jaideep Ahlawat. After her jail time, Radha is now out on bail and out for blood. No longer concerned about integrity, she's now driven by vengeance alone and is willing to cross all ethical boundaries to bring Dipankar down.
Dipankar versus Radha?
I'm Dipankar Sanyal. I'll fucking destroy you.
राधा भार्गव किसी से नहीं डरती है, समझ लो ये बात.
It's a brave, bold decision from creators Vinay Vaikul and Sambir Mishra to show the righteous Radha, the bastion of truth and integrity, becoming compromised and radicalized. The origin story of a TV troll. A telling bit of commentary about how any ranting TV anchor, even if they're a force for good, is only ever one bad day from becoming everything they hate. In spirit, The Broken News wants to be about the war of ideologies between two schools of journalism, reporting facts and speaking truth to power, as against the manipulative, agenda-driven cult of personality popularity contest shouting match, fact versus opinion, truth-telling versus brand building. Despite its conveniences and overexcited sensibility, The Broken News continues to be an exceedingly watchable, well-packaged, pacey show, bringing the big stakes, absorbing masala-driven clash of egos, and benefiting greatly from having performers like Shriya Pilgaonkar and Jaideep Ahlawat at the helm. Jaideep in particular is a testament to what a truly fine actor can do to create moments and elevate surface-level, cliche-heavy writing. His Dipankar is pure presence and immensely enjoyable arrogance.
मेरा channel है. Because of Josh, I lost my family. और ये सब खो देने के बाद, I just can't lose Josh.
When Dipankar marches into a room, you immediately know who's boss. But Jaideep equally does well to examine the humanity of the character. Take the scene where he's telling a young journalist about his younger days covering elections in the field. Within the sensitivity of Jaideep's eyes, you can feel the temperature of the room becoming gentler as a man revisits a simpler time. But the problem with this series is you can't separate a piece of storytelling from the larger climate and context and point in time it exists in. At this very moment, when the tragic joke that is the TV news landscape has eroded the fabric of the country, I don't want to enjoy watching a pair of warring, larger-than-life corrupt journalists. Why am I supposed to empathize with them? Take Dipankar's arc this season. If Radha's story is about how the mighty can fall and become part of the problem, his is a redemption story about how the soulless editor of a hate-spewing channel gradually rediscovers his integrity. But this is a man who routinely character assassinates people on TV, stirs media trials, spins false narratives and lies. Dipankar's KRA is literally to get the corrupt sitting CM re-elected. He even openly admits that he has no interest in ethics. This is a man who wants sole custody of the daughter from his ex-wife who he divorced years ago. How does he go about it? He has the income tax department repeatedly raid her, essentially blackmailing her to give up custody of their daughter. The narrative doesn't necessarily glorify or condone Dipankar or Radha's actions, but it doesn't condemn them either.
ये स्टोरी दीपांकर सान्याल को डिस्ट्रॉय कर देगी.
स्टोरी मैं करूँगा. राधा भार्गव आज रात मरने वाली है.
Aside from framing Dipankar as a badass anti-hero figure who you love watching, the series makes a case that maybe there is hope for corrosive news anchors to turn a corner and be better. Forgive me if in 2024 I refuse to empathize with crooked journalists. The show has its heart in the right place, but the fact is it's tackling very tricky, timely subject matter in service of nothing more than larger-than-life entertainment. I get that it's going for some kind of nuance and trying to say no one is entirely good or bad, but I'd argue that right now we could really use some black and white, right and wrong. At this point, I'll happily take an unsubtle show that wants to lecture us and monologue at us about the importance of credible, responsible journalism and calling out the bullshit. I'd argue that that lecture has never been more important. I want Mohammad Zishan Ayub's editor Imran Siddiqui from Hansal Mehta's Scoop, who for me managed to be more meaningful in a handful of scenes about the sorry state of affairs than this show does in its entire 8-episode second season. This show does try and mount a hopeful figure like that in the form of Awaz Bharti editor-in-chief Amina Qureshi as the one person we can root for in the shitstorm that is TV news.
खबर को पहले पकाइए, उसके बाद परोसिए.
क्या हम यहाँ पे कोई मसाला मूवी बना रहे हैं?
But unfortunately, Amina is the most underwritten and unexciting of the three characters, and despite Sonali's gentle, reassuring presence, you can see the effort in the performance. Thankfully, we do get some humor along the way. This new season serves as a pretty solid drinking game. Drink every time somebody says Operation Umbrella or anti-national media or Sarkari media. There's also the fact that nothing on this show is anywhere as close to as dramatic or silly or hilarious or ridiculous or insane as what passes for actual TV news these days. Despite its corny, silly season finale, The Broken News is by no means a bad show. The problem is, in mounting a juicy drama about rival journalists who report the news, The Broken News fails to read the room. It left me thinking of the iconic line that Mohammad Zishan Ayub's Imran Siddiqui says in Scoop. If someone says it's raining outside and another person says it's dry, it's not your job to quote them both. Your job is to look out of the fucking window. I'm going to tweak that a bit. If one horrid hate-spewing journalist decides to do something good and another honest good journalist becomes a TV troll, it's not my job to empathize with either of them. I'd rather just change the damn channel. You can watch The Broken News on Z5.